Hello everyone. Let's talk about something that I think many people feel pain in their hearts about. It's that, do you often feel like, I know this is better for me, and I should do it, but I just can't do it? You clearly know you should exercise, but your body is glued to the sofa. You know you should sleep early, but your eyes just can't leave your phone. This huge chasm between knowing and doing really makes one feel powerless sometimes. Today, let's have a good talk about how exactly to cross this chasm. That's right. This gap between knowing and doing can be said to be the common inner struggle of modern people. We have a ton of information. We know everything, but our bodies always seem disobedient, always choosing the wrong side. Why on earth is this? Really, this question hits the core conflict of our inner selves. Why does that tiny voice of reason always lose to a momentary impulse? What exactly is behind us playing tug of war with us? Look, this sentence really strikes a chord. It's exactly that kind of powerlessness, isn't it? It's as if there's a huge, invisible inertia pushing you. You clearly know there's a wall ahead, but your feet just won't stop. So the problem is clearly not knowing, but that we seem to lack a kind of inner strength to truly step on the brakes. The solution: insight into liberation. Okay, so the problem is clear to all of us. What about the solution? Is there any way to break this loop? The core concept we're going to talk about next, I think, might be the key to unlocking the shackles on us. This keyword is called insight into liberation, vimuttiyananadasana. Wait, please pay attention. This doesn't refer to the kind of knowledge we read in books, nor is it just saying I agree in my head. No, it is an understanding that goes deep into your bones, a feeling that makes you truly afraid and truly know from the bottom of your heart. Once you truly possess this insight, letting go is no longer a struggle. It will become an instinctive reaction. I think this diagram explains it super well. Look, the left side is called shallow knowing. Like you read in a book, that fire is hot. The right side is deep knowing. It's when you've actually been burned. The memory of that pain. The difference is huge. One is just information. The other is an experience engraved in your body. Just like we all know snakes are poisonous, but only someone who has truly been bitten by a venomous snake will have a reaction of uncontrollable fear upon seeing one. What we're looking for is this kind of deep knowing that can directly drive behavior and help us step on the brakes. The map of transformation. So you see, once we grab onto this deep knowing as a starting point, the path ahead actually becomes very clear. It's not some empty theory. It is actually a practice map with clear steps. Here are the 5 steps of transformation. Look, what is the first step? It is insight knowledge, obtaining that insight into liberation. This point is very, very critical, because only with this deep understanding of pain as a foundation can you possibly achieve the second step, precept sila, which is self-discipline, and then you can truly be liberated from bad habits. Moving forward, your mind can then stabilize and reach concentration samadhi. And finally, true wisdom panna will arise. So, if the foundation of step 1 is not laid well, everything that follows, honestly, is just a castle in the air. The real-world example: sugar. Alright, I know talking like this might still be a bit abstract. That's okay. Let's use a super everyday example, the sugar we encounter every day, to see how this process works in the real world. Let's first look at a number. 783 million. What is this? This is the projected number of people with diabetes worldwide by 2045. Look at how staggering this number is. This tells us one thing: just knowing sugar is bad, this kind of shallow knowledge, simply cannot stop this global health storm. So what should be done? There is a suggestion from a master here that sounds a bit radical, even a bit crazy. He says that to truly quit something, you must deliberately experience the pain it brings. You heard that right. His method is to have you deliberately eat it. Eat it until your body feels very, very uncomfortable. Look at this sentence. It must be very uncomfortable, very painful, even making you howl in pain. After he does this a few times, he will become honest obedient. The purpose of this, of course, isn't self-harm. Not at all. The purpose is only one: to create a painful memory in your body that you will never forget. This is building the deep knowing we've been talking about. So the goal is clear: It's to bind that craving with a super strong negative memory in your brain. This is actually a kind of brain resetting, replacing the old pleasant association with a new painful association. Make your body and brain thoroughly understand that this thing isn't a reward. It's poison. I think this metaphor is just wonderful. It's like being bitten by a poisonous snake. When you have truly felt that pain, you will know this thing is no joke. Exactly. It's that feeling. Your attitude toward that bad habit must be like seeing a deadly venomous snake. Not because a book says it's poisonous, but because you've really been bitten. You know the pain. You're afraid, and you instinctively want to avoid it. How to cultivate insight, offering. Okay, so we understand that we need to establish deep knowing through profound experience. But here's the question. Do we have to make ourselves so miserable every time? Is there a more active and smarter way to cultivate and consolidate this insight? Yes, a very clever term is proposed here. Offering. Think about it. In the past, weren't we all offering to our desires? When we had a craving, we fed it. When we wanted to scroll through our phones, we immediately satisfied it. And now what we want to do is turn this energy 180 degrees to offer to our awareness. Remind it, strengthen it, and nourish it every day. So how specifically do we offer? Here are a few ways. First, study. Deliberately research all the negative consequences of this bad habit. The more detailed, the better. Second, memorize. Take them out and think about them from time to time. Third, contemplate. Repeatedly think about this cause and effect relationship. Finally, and most crucially, make an offering. When that craving pops up again, each time you choose to say no, you are not just suppressing yourself. You should think, you are taking this power of restraint as nourishment and offering it to your determination and insight. Every bit of restraint is like watering and fertilizing that small sapling of your insight into liberation, making it stronger day by day. The conclusion. All right, having said all this, before we end, let's bring the focus back to ourselves. I want you to honestly ask yourself this question. In your life, which harmful habit have you only stayed at the level of knowing it's bad, without truly realizing from the bottom of your heart what price it is making you pay? It might be procrastination. It might be unhealthy eating. Or it might be the phone addiction you just can't quit. I hope what we talked about today can give you a whole new perspective to find your own unique deep knowing, and then truly cross over from knowing to doing. All right, that's all for today. Thank you everyone.